and then we can go on and get started. So hi, everyone. Welcome to the All Roads Lead to Rhodes 2021 Advocate Training session. We're very excited to have you here with us today. We're hoping that we can get through give you a whole lot of information in a not very short amount of time, but also not a very long amount of time. So we want to be as respectful of that as we can, but also make sure we give you everything you need to be successful and answer any questions you might have at the end. So we can go on and start bopping our way through this slideshow. We'll get going. So just to give you a little bit of a roadmap of what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to go over we're going to introduce our staff who's here, and I think we will probably have enough time to introduce everyone else as well, just so we all know who is with us today. We're going to have an overview of the campaign and just what it is and what we're working on here, and I'll then give Campus the platform that we use for this. We'll go over how to do some social media outreach with some examples on that. We'll learn a little bit about our texting platform, and you'll be able to actually see what that looks like. And we'll give you some engagement tips as you're interacting with people on the days of the challenge and the days leading up to it. So hi, everyone. I will kick off our introductions. I am Liz Moak. I am a member of the class of 2011. I am the Assistant Director of Alumni Relations here at Rhodes. And we're just going to start back up at the top and work our way down our list here. And then we'll get to everyone else who is joining us today. So Dwayne.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Butcher, Director of Communications. I'm not an alum, but my niece is a current student, so I think that still makes me important. But thank you all for being here today.
It absolutely does, Dwayne. Seth, if you want to jump next.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I not only am not an alum, but I don't work at Rhodes either. So thanks for letting me crash your party. I'm a partner success manager at Give Campus, which is the educational technology company that Rhodes partners with for initiatives like Road to Rhodes. But my background is as an educational fundraiser. So I come with a lot of love and appreciation for all of the great work that folks like Liz and Brittany and Jesse and Dwayne do. So thanks for letting me be here.
Thanks, Seth. Brittany?
Hi, I'm Brittany Tuggle. I'm the Assistant Director of Annual Giving, and I focus mostly on class reunions. And I am going to be sharing more about texting and outreach, so can't wait.
Jesse?
Hey y'all, I'm Jessie Denby Wilson. I'm class of 2008. I'm the Director of Annual Giving. So Brittany and I work together all the time, and really excited to show you all this. Thank you for being here today. And then I'll turn it over.
Okay, and Tess, if you wanted to say hi. Well.
Sure. Hey, I'm Tess Herzog. I'm a current sophomore at Rhodes, and I'm the Development Student Associate. So I work with Jesse and Brittany on all things Annual Fund.
And then I'm going to hop over, see if we can maybe just do a quick introduction of everyone with you. I'll just kind of do a quick roll call, and you can just say, name, class, year, and where you're based right now. So Kim Medlin, if you want to go first.
So hi, everyone. I'm Kim Medland. So I graduated in '91, and I currently live in Washington, D.C.
Hey, Brent.
Hey everyone, I'm Brent Owens, and I'm class of '06, and I'm currently in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, I'm Megan Pollock-Colgan, and I'm class of 2004, and I live in Covington, Georgia, which is about 40 miles east of Atlanta.
Melanie.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Melanie Hillard, and I am class of 1992, and I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, just across the bridge.
Hey, thanks. Miriam.
Hi, I am Miriam Dillard Stroud. I am class of 2003, and I am in Memphis, Tennessee, and I have had my video off, and we'll go back to that because I'm still at work in the lab at St. Jude. So
good deal. Okay, Dan? Julianne, you there?
Yeah, hi, sorry, you broke up as you were saying names, sorry.
It's all good.
Julianne Johnson Ponescu, class of 89. I live in Alexandria, Virginia, right across the Potomac from DC.
Okay, Ben. Ben, you're muted.
Yeah, I just saw it pop up on my screen. Hey everyone, my name is Ben Griffith. I am a recent graduate, class of 2020. And I am living very close to Alexandria in Crystal City, Virginia, in Arlington, also right across the Potomac, right next to Ronald Reagan National Airport. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks. Jocelyn.
Hi there, I'm Jocelyn Jackson, was Jocelyn Hebja when I went to Rhodes, class of 2014, and I am currently based in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, thanks. Taylor?
Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Burnett and I'm class of 2014. Along with Ben, I'm on the new alumni committee, and I currently live in Washington.
Hey, thanks, Taylor. Let me make sure. And Christy, I think you're the last one, unless I've missed anyone else.
No problem. Hi, I'm Christy Weir-Kruger, class of 85, and I am actually the president of the alumni board who is challenging the new alumni committee during this.
Nothing like a good little bit of friendly competition to get people excited to participate in things.
I'm pretty confident that NAC is winning right now.
I think you're right. The alumni board got a reminder today.
Yes, they did.
Well, I'm here, Christy.
Okay, so we're just going to jump right in to some information about the challenge itself. So what is All Roads Lead to Rhodes? It's our annual community-wide giving event. It's this year, it's on April 7th through April 8th. We're beginning at noon Central Daylight Time and ending on Wednesday and ending at 5:48 p.m. on Thursday. That time might sound a little odd, but there is a very specific purpose behind it because that is exactly 1,848 minutes. We thought that would be a kind of fun way to kind of bring in some of the history of the college into this challenge. And it's a great way for us to utilize some other historical facts and figures about the school as well as we go through the course of the 2 days. So our audience for this challenge is everyone who's a part of the Rhodes community. That's alumni, that's faculty, staff, parents, family, people who just really love Rhodes, because there are people out there like that. So we wanted to be able to reach out to everyone and find and give everyone an opportunity to really participate and support the college. So for the advocates, which is what all of you are here for, we have two main groups. We have our team leader and then we have our team member. Our team leaders, they have the biggest impact. They they commit to raising awareness and pulling together their friends and peers that they went to school with to help spread the word and garner support for the challenge. And they are responsible for, they're tasked with completing 5 different support goals out of 10. And those goals include making a gift, creating a profile on Give Campus and making a personal plea video, which we'll give you some more information about that here in a few minutes. Sharing your personal advocate link on social media, making a matching gift or offering a challenge as part of the event, recruiting 3 to 5 team members to help support your goals, receiving 10 gifts for a specific designation. So one of either wherever the need is greatest, financial aid, faculty support, campus life, library and technology, or campus preservation, or receive 10 gifts from your class year, or you could also text 100 to 200 classmates. So you got to do 5 of those 10 in order to fulfill the requirements of being a team leader. So team members are more focused on social media sharing. They also need to make a challenge during the make a gift during the challenge. My brain got ahead of myself there. They need to create a profile on Give Campus and also make a personal plea video, and share your personalized advocate link and generate at least 1 gift from that link. So we've got some balance of responsibility, but when you put both of these groups together, they're really going to help us have a very successful 2 days next week. And so I'm going to turn it over to Seth, and he can give us some more information about Give Campus and give us a little bit of a walkthrough on that.
All right, thank you. And again, thanks to everyone for letting me be here. I no longer work at educational institutions, so I just live vicariously through you all. So it's great to see so many faces. And I just want to say that I work with a lot of schools, and it's really the work of volunteers and advocates like you that really takes campaigns from good to great. So thank you. And I'm really excited to follow along with the amazing work that you do. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but we're going to talk about the advocacy actions that y'all can take on the Give Campus platform. There's 4 of them, 4 steps, and they're designed to be super easy and user-friendly. This might look familiar to you all. I'm sure many of you have potentially been on the Give Campus page before. Some of you might have accounts. So the first step is actually going to be to either sign up for an account. So every Rhodes Give Campus page will have these sign up and login buttons when you first navigate. So you can either sign up with Facebook, which will obviously pre-populate some information there, like a photo, etc., or you could just do name, email, password, all of that good stuff. Doesn't make a tremendous amount of difference. And then once you have created this account on Give Campus, you have it for life. So it isn't specific, and it's not specific to the All Roads Lead to Rhodes campaign. You can come back to any Rhodes Give Campus page and log into that account and take these advocacy steps. So once you sign up, it'll prompt an email confirming that account to your email address. You'll click that link and you'll be all signed in and good to go. So once you're signed in, there's kind of 3 main actions that you can take on a campaign page. So we're going to talk about these first ones, which are social media sharing, which Liz talked about before. Really important. So underneath the all important Give Now button, right, we can see these click to share buttons. So seamless integrations with Facebook and Twitter. So you just one click, it'll share. You'll be able to edit the post and then share. Or you can, if you would like to do via email, you can copy to share. You're also able to, and this is slightly different from the texting platform that Brittany's going to talk about later, but you're also, if you log on to the campaign page on mobile, it'll give you an option to actually copy the link to your messages app as well and text folks. So really important that whichever one of these you're choosing is easy and feels comfortable to you. You know, if you're a social media person, share on Facebook or Twitter. If you communicate with your peers more via email, do that, or via text. It's totally up to you the ways that you'd like to share. One question that I get often is, Seth, I don't see a LinkedIn or an Instagram button here. So for both of those options, you'll use this copy to share link. So you can just paste that in a LinkedIn post. And then Instagram is not so well set up for links, but if you want to do a link in bio situation, as the kids say, you're able to do that with this link as well. So I'm going to just quickly pause there. I hate to be the guy who's just chatting at you for 10 minutes. Any questions? I think I see one from Christy, which says, if we registered online through Rhodes, do we still need to sign up here? I'm going to bounce that to the Rhodes team. Is there another place where you've been asking for signups?
So to answer your question, Christy, yes, because when you signed up with Rhodes to be an advocate, that was to let our team know that you wanted to do that and which level you would be at. To become an advocate through Give Campus, you do need to make your own account, but like Seth just showed, it's pretty straightforward.
Thank you for bailing me out there, Jesse. I appreciate it. Any other questions or thoughts on these social sharing features before I move on? All right, cool. I must be doing a great job. Oh, maybe one more. Oh, we got to thank you. There we go. Awesome. So I'm going to talk about matches, offering matches and challenges now. These are a great way to show your support. If you're, considering making a gift to the campaign, which y'all should be doing, that's what we're all here for, right? Is to get more support for Rhodes. You can double down on your support by offering a match or a challenge, which will show up on the page in real time. Slight difference between matches and challenges. Matches count up. So an example of a match would be like, I'm going to give dollar for dollar up to $500. As folks give, that match gets triggered up until the limit I set. Whereas a challenge gets triggered after a certain goal is hit. So a challenge might be, I'm going to give $500 after 50 donors give. One isn't better than the other. It's just how you want to structure it. And another question I often get is, Seth, I don't have hundreds or thousands of dollars to give. Is my match or challenge going to make a difference? And the answer is unequivocally yes. When you create a match or challenge, your name will show up both under this match or challenge tab as well as under this advocates tab. And your network will be able to see that, Jessie is matching gifts for her class, or, I'm matching gifts towards a specific designation. You can get pretty granular with it. So it's definitely an action that I would encourage you to take. And we see a lot of really great action on campaigns that get a lot of folks that are going in and creating those matches. So I'm going to pause there really quick. Any questions or thoughts on offering match or challenge gifts? All right, cool. So I'm going to move on to the last action that I'm going to talk about on the page today, which is creating a personal plea, which you do down under this advocates tab. So you click on create a personal plea, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It should be a short 30 to 45-second video that you record of yourself explaining why someone should give back to the campaign. If you're like me and you like being on camera, I would highly recommend you do this because when you create a personal plea, that will actually show up next to your name under this advocates tab, and you'll be able to share out a link directly to that personal plea. So not only will you be sharing a link to the campaign page, but it'll also be a link to you explaining why someone should give back to the campaign. I want to stress, it does not need to be an Oscar-winning production to make a difference. It can really just be fun, lighthearted. But again, if you're not a camera person, you prefer to be a little bit more behind the scenes, no pressure to do this. It's important that you're just becoming an advocate in ways that are easy and meaningful to you. So just to sum up those advocacy functions before I pause at the end of my portion for any last thoughts or questions is, again, make sure you're signed up and logged in when you're taking these actions on the page. Obviously considering your own gift and then sharing via the social sharing buttons, considering creating a match or a challenge, and of course, a personal plea as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there, and I'm just going to give one more quick pause at the end to see if anyone has any questions about taking these actions on the campaign page. All right, I must have knocked it out of the park. So again,
I have a question.
Thanks for letting me, oh, sorry.
Seth, what if somebody gives to us offline, like cash, check, Venmo? Is there a way to log that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Rhodes team is going to be monitoring those different channels on the day, I believe, and reflecting those on the campaign page. At least it's possible. Yep, and Jesse's going to send out that information.
Yes. And so in the information that we include after this, I'll also include information about if someone gives you a check or cash in person. If they want to use Venmo or they want to use PayPal or a credit card, they can do that on the Give Campus page. Venmo and PayPal are a new integration for us. We're super excited about it. But you have to be on your phone if they want to pay that way.
Hi, Jesse, it's Christy. So if somebody does by PayPal or Venmo versus online, and it should be, this is me trying to fight with the, in NAC that we're going to beat them, how will we make sure that that gets gotten toward a certain board member or certain advocate, sorry, wrong word, so that we know that they get credit?
So when you go to, say you go to the Give Campus page to make a gift, we will, on that page, you go to make a gift, one of your payment options, if you're using your cell phone, will be Venmo. And so you'll just click on it, much like you would Google Wallet or something like that. So it'll autofill. So it's not like in the Venmo app where you directly send someone money. It's just essentially using it as an online wallet. Seth, did I explain that right?
Yeah, it's basically you're doing essentially Venmo or PayPal through Give Campus. So you're still going to the campaign page and entering the information just like you would, because the good folks at Rhodes still need that information for, not to get in the weeds, for gift reporting purposes. But it's basically using those options of Venmo or PayPal through Give Campus. So it's super easy.
Yes, and so it will track back to if someone's made a match, it'll track back to that. If someone is making a gift based off the link that you sent them, that'll track back to you, and it'll all just fold nicely into the system. And Jocelyn, you had asked about offline gifts, so essentially cash or check in person. That is something, if you do get that, make sure that our office gets it ASAP, but also in the moment, right afterwards, you can email or text Liz Moak, and we'll just need the name and the email information and the amount of that person, and then we'll be able to do it as an offline gift. But I'll also include those instructions when we send out the follow-up information from this. And then Julian, we'll actually send you an email when everybody can go live, and that'll come from Liz, just letting you know about the platforms live. You can go ahead and start sharing, so on and so forth, and just a reminder of all the resources that are available for you. So, thanks.
Just one quick note, I did misspeak about the total number of goals. It is 9, not 10. That was my error. I apologize.
But if you do 10 goals and you're a member of the NAC or the AEB, that will really help that battle royale that's happening. So
I have one more question, if that's okay. This is Miriam. Is it possible to do more than one challenge? Like if I wanted to challenge the sports team I played on, but also fellow biology majors, like, is there a way to set up more than one?
Absolutely. And that's something that we can help you with as you're setting up your profile if you've got any questions about it, but you can set up basically as many as you want, especially if you segment them out like that. All right, Dwayne, I'll hand it over to you.
hello. Dwayne Butcher, Director of Development Communications. Thank you everyone for doing this today and agreeing with your time, which is so valuable for everyone. But we cannot do this without you. We couldn't do any of this without the work, and the advocates are so key on getting us started. The challenges that we've had and the advocates that we've had in the past really get us, a really, really good jumping point as the campaign kicks off, build that momentum, build that enthusiasm for it. But for social media posts, on the link in chat that we just put down, I will have some information, rhodes.edu/advocate that'll have some prompts or, some copy that you could use as an example. But just be sure to include in your social media tags the URL, which is /gift or give. So I think either one of them will really work there. So they're transferable. And then the hashtag #allroads. But as far as like social media and social media posts, your audience, right? So your audience is very specific to who follows you or who you follow or who you like and all that stuff on the different social media channels. And what they will respond to. They're going to, people that are in your group are probably are going to get a lot of emails from me. They're going to get a lot of social media posts from me as a lead up to the campaign and during the campaign, but what will work for them, really kind of make it personal. And so with the challenge this year, it's 1848. And that's the year that Rhodes College started in Clarksville, Tennessee. And so we thought it would be a really good number to kind of go for. That's why it's 1,848 minutes. to kind of reach this goal. And so with this, like all the things that could have possibly happened during Rhodes College could make for fun social media posts. So we have about 40 or so social media posts that we're going to do during the day that are highlighting certain things that have happened on Rhodes campus. Rites of Spring, the Kinney program, Bonner Scholars, travel abroad, all those different kind of things we're, having very specific social media posts about. But for you, it's just whatever it is that you think can be fun to share your story or to share that link or to try to get gifts, right? And the good thing to be mindful of is to tag folks, and people love to be tagged. It's like how to create engagement. Friends of friends will see that, and then that's really how things kind of spiral from there. And any kind of post that you have from when you were a student, when you come back from reunions, if you have an alumni meeting in your city, I know that the DC chapter is very active, and you folks are constantly meeting when we could meet and can meet, at various places around the city, having chapter events. So that's really, really great. So if you have those kind of things, those are always kind of fun to see. People love seeing themselves on the internet, especially on other people's posts. And that would just be a way to kind of really, get that build momentum. And then for the personal plea video, people can, have a tendency or do have a tendency to kind of get worried about that, but it really is anything goes. We have had people submit personal plea videos, and maybe most of y'all will probably know these, like at the gym, like in between sets, like take up their phone and then just like, make a personal plea gift, whatever. People are doing it while they're walking their dog, and people are doing it while they're drinking coffee in the morning. And then people say, this is my 12th time I'm trying to record this video. I don't know what to say. Just give some money. So it's really anything at all that you feel comfortable with doing. And it's all going to be great. And again, we're so appreciative and so thankful that you're doing. And if you want old photographs, or not old, that's not the right word, but if you want photographs from, a specific event or time period or something like that from campus, just reach out to one of us and see if we can get it. We may not be able to get you the very specific 1988 homecoming court, but we can get you a lot of other things that are around that, right? That maybe help with your kind of social media posts. So, but again, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, just let me know. I know I'll ramble and I talk really fast, and I try to stop doing that.
Does anybody have questions for Dwayne before we go through my very short 2-slide presentation? Can't see the chat box.
And Christy, it is so awesome that you asked that about throwback photos, because I received a photograph today of you as a cheerleader at a homecoming in 1984 to be able to use specifically for this campaign. So I guess I can give you that one. It is you. And but yes, I have plenty of throwback photos. So if you have like a time period, plus or minus your class year, a couple years, I can absolutely put together some images for you.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me who shared that one. I thought we hit all those.
It is, her name is, and you know her quite well, Tracy Patterson.
Oh, we will have to shoot her later.
All right. So, like everybody, so my role for the Annual Fund Challenge is managing the texting platform. So texting is an option for any team leader, team member who wants to use this part of the 9 points that Liz was talking about to meet the goals. And so we have a platform called Through Text, which is an online platform that we create an online profile, and we set you up based on whatever group that you want. So if you want to text your class year, if you want to text people within a certain major, like Miriam said, athletics, if you had a certain sport or a certain interest that we could probably find, we can definitely set you up to text 100 to 200 people. The good thing about Through Text is it's through an encrypted number. So it won't be from your personal phone. So, that's a privacy thing that we take very seriously. And so as you can see, maybe from the screenshot, this is literally the text that we used last year during the Annual Fund Challenge, where we wanted to reach 750 donors in 24 hours. And so each team I have a pre-populated template for texting. And so if you are open to it, let me know in the chat and I'll follow up with you after the training, and we'll set you up with an account. You will just need your first name and class year and an email address to receive those assignments. And then I can walk you through the portal, and then that's pretty much it. If you text 100 people, you probably won't get 100 responses back. That's one of the good things about texting. You can maximize your time and your outreach. And then we will only be doing texting on Wednesday, April 7th from 5 to 7 p.m. We found that is the best time to reach alumni, parents, and friends of the college. And so we keep track of those conversations. And so I will have an open Zoom link for whomever is texting that night. And so if you get a question that you may not know the answer to, or you get a response like, I don't think I need to answer that, then that is what I'm here for to do. And so that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions about texting?
So Brittany, it's Christy. My only question, so you guys will give us a list of like if we want to do a class texting or something? Okay. Sorry, I missed that part.
Yes, if you want to text the entire class of 85 minus the people who may be assigned to someone on our team, then we can get you that list. Well, I can upload the list and assign it to you. You'll get an email through text saying, hey, Christy, you have an assignment from Rhodes College. And so then you'll look at it and be like, okay, I can send all of these. And then you just wait for the responses to roll in. Or if there's another class year, or if you want to just take half of your class, that's totally.
All right, well, because we've got the challenge out, does it go to a specific advocate? And also for everybody online, does it go to a specific advocate that if somebody does make a donation, that advocate gets credit for it?
So that is something that we can do, but what we'll need is for everybody who wants to text, they'll have to create their advocate profile prior to us setting up the texting night. So then Brittany can put your individual link into your message. So because that's a little bit more time consuming, we just need a little bit more heads up. And so when we send out the follow-up information after this, you'll have a prompt to email Brittany if you as an individual or you and your team want to text, and then she'll follow up with you with the language and then what she needs to move forward.
Yes. And so I already have 2 lovely volunteers. Thank you so much. I will be following up with you all after we get the training and recording packaged to get your profile set up for texting. All right, that's it for me. And now we'll turn it over to Jessie/Liz for outreach and engagement.
Awesome. Thanks, Brittany. So yes, outreach and engagement. This is basically how we do our job. We're really loving it. But the biggest question is, will my support make a difference? Like if I give X amount, if I give $5, $10, whatnot. So just know that your support makes an immediate impact. But it's at Rhodes, we say that the annual fund dollars are used for immediate and emerging needs. So oftentimes you'll hear say it's for scholarships or this or that. In the past year, we've also had to use that for things that have affected the campus because of COVID. So whether that's additional financial aid dollars with families with unexpected financial burdens, that's new technologies for faculty, staff, and students who needed to be prepared to be able to teach and learn remotely. And then not related to COVID, but still a big deal was in February when the big ice storm hit and we had to move all of our off-campus or all of our on-campus students into hotels out in the suburbs so that they would have running water and all of those good things to make them comfortable. And the annual fund helps support all of that. So it's also really important to think about that every donation really does count. I know Seth talked about it a little bit, but there's often this hesitancy that if I can't give a big amount, I just don't know that I should give it all. And we really want people to start thinking about it in a different way, because it truly all adds up. So whether you give $5, $50, $5,000, anywhere in the spectrum, it absolutely makes a huge impact. And then your support also makes a difference in the way that you tell it. So whether you are talking about the ways that you volunteer with the college, the way that you choose to give back to the college, your personal story is what is going to impact your peers. So for us, that's a really big thing for us. And then Brittany, you can go to the next slide. So for outreach and engagement, it's really about these three things: finding your voice, telling your own story, and making a plan. So within your own voice, it's really about telling what your Rhodes experience has been, and why, because of your experience, you choose to support Rhodes. And that can be anything from, I had a scholarship, so I want to give back so other students can have a scholarship, or I had a really great opportunity to conduct research with a professor, and I want to make sure that that's possible, not only for professors to continue their research, but for students to be on their teams, to go to conferences and to get that real world experience, or whatever it might be. So when you are doing that, it's just important to know what your story is going to be. And then finally, you want to make a plan. You want to define your target audience. So are you just reaching out to your immediate friend group? Or are you reaching out to classmates, or a group that you were a part of, or anything like that? Just identifying what your target audience will be. But then it's also relying on the advocate toolkit that we are providing for you. Dwayne went over all of the social media aspects of it. And that can really help you formulate what exactly you want your story to tell and the images you want to use. Now, you don't have to use the images that we give you. You're welcome to use your own from college, or whatever you think best exemplifies your story. You can skip. So when we talk about outreach, this is truly peer-to-peer engagement. So you are thinking about the different ways that a direct ask can be made. And that for us is something that you and your team members will do. You can choose pretty much any way you want to do it. I mean, the best way is obviously face-to-face. Like, you get to have that in-person conversation, you get to read each other, know what's going on, but it's still COVID. So you choose what's best for you. If you feel good with in-person, go to town. But this can also be done with a phone call, with a FaceTime, a text message, a direct message, kind of whatever you're thinking, but that is you talking to one person, compelling them or telling your compelling story. The other methods that are also helpful is like a mass email. So this is great when you were defining your audience. If you were thinking about a group that you were a part of, like say you had your own Rhodes trivia team, or you did the, what else am I thinking of? Links Fit. Say you had a Links Fit team. You're going to reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm Jessie. I'm being an advocate for All Roads Lead to Rhodes. And here's my story. Here's why I think that you should help us out. That can be done in a mass email. You could also just do a social media post. That for us, has so much traction. Like Dwayne said, tag people, use the hashtag, but putting something out on social for you to say, this is my story and this is why I give, I hope you join me, really does impact people, since we're all on technology all the time. So, and then just some tips for making a direct ask, because I know that asking someone else to make a donation can be a little daunting. And I just want you to know that even though this is my job full time, I still have to pause, center myself, and think about what I'm asking of the person I'm meeting with. So I like to have my own story. I like to make sure that it's specific, and that I give them all the tools to then follow up. So whether that's making sure that they have my link, or that they have resources that they need if they want to learn more, things like that. So when you are making your direct ask, make sure you've got all that ready, but also, when you're telling your story, if there's a thing that you really care about and you want to know more, or you really want to encourage people to give to that, then you can even just talk about the designations that we have. And those are all available on Give Campus, but just a quick run through in case you don't have them memorized. Our first designation is financial aid and scholarships, and that's the one that gets the most traction every single year, not just during a challenge, but throughout the entire fundraising cycle, which makes sense because 93% of our students receive financial aid. I think it's like 94 now, maybe. I might be a little wrong on that. The next is faculty support. So we're thinking research materials here, travel for research and conferences, things like that. Campus life. And so that's supporting all the programming that runs in tandem with their academic life, and just making sure that their lives are enriched while they're on our campus. The next is library and technology. It's a little self-explanatory. And then campus preservation. Everyone talks about how beautiful our campus is all the time. Campus preservation, make sure that happens. And then the final one is just where the need is greatest. So if you don't designate, you're applying your dollars to where the need is greatest, which allows Rhodes to remain nimble and just respond to emerging needs. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is just to be personal and use an outreach method that you're comfortable with. So, you know, if you are a texter and you're not someone who talks on the phone, text your people. If you actually really love talking on the phone, call your people. Whatever it is that you would really actually want to do in the moment. And then finally, the last bit of all of this is stewardship. So on its base level, you're just thanking someone. You're just saying, I appreciate that you gave, or that you volunteered, or that you did X, Y, and Z. And it's a really vital component of any campaign, event, or ask. And on our side, as staff members during this event, we will be utilizing emails, texts, phone calls, and individualized thank you videos, which Tess, who's on the call, is our master at that. But we will do these a little bit before, but then also throughout and after the event, just to make sure that every single person who donates receives a personalized thank you. If you make an individual ask and they give, then I recommend that you just thank them as well. It doesn't hurt to double up on gratitude. And we'll make sure that you have the resources available to make that happen. So during the day of or the day after, we'll just give you a full list of like, here's everybody who gave through your link. And then if you have any questions about it or whatever, of course, we'll be able to help you out and look up if there's anybody else we missed. So on that, thank you. And I'll turn it over to Liz.
So before we do move on to our next engagement related questions that I wanted to get to. So one of them was from, I believe it was from Christy. If folks want to give in memory of a fellow alum, does that still count towards the annual fund and towards the challenge? And then just sharing some information on how much COVID has impacted the college, like what we can put out there if that's an avenue people want to utilize. So Jessie, I'm going to defer to you on that one.
No, we can absolutely do that. And I mean, just off the top, we have been very lucky that our enrollment stayed really strong, but we absolutely were affected financially in some ways because of decisions made last school year to put students first and not money first. And then even going into this academic year, that trend continued because we wanted to make sure that we remained a student-focused institution. So when we do the follow-up, I'll include some numbers on what that looked like, what the overall cost was, and then just what we've been doing on the back end to help supplement those additional charges.
Wonderful. Okay, and then the second question was from Megan. If we want to send an email to a specific group, such as Rhodes Singers or Rhodes Christian Fellowship, can we provide a list for contact info for alumni that they don't regularly connect with? So can we pull like lists for specific groups for them to email?
Yes, we will do our best to give you a complete list for different things. Some of our records are a little shaky on student involvement, depending on how far back we go. So, but if you do have specific groups, we can absolutely work to pull lists that work around them. Just make sure that you let us know when we send out the follow-up information.
Okay, and then last question from Ben. He was on senior gift. And so he wanted to know about data about the annual fund's financial impact, like a cheat sheet. I know we normally have one, but something else, maybe designations and stuff too.
Yep, we can definitely do that. And we'll include that in the follow-up information as well.
Ben gives thumbs up on that, so we appreciate that. And those are all the questions, Liz. Did I miss anybody's questions? Just trying to make sure I went through the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything.
I think that's all the ones that I saw in the chat.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So from here, where do we go? We've got a couple of next steps for you. One's on you and one's on us. We need you all to create your advocate profile on GiveCampus. The sooner you do this, especially if we want to be able to track things like if you're texting who gives based on the text, the link that's texted out, we need you to do this sooner rather than later. That also gives you some time to start, thinking about your video, your plea video, and you can get that done. You can, work on some drafts maybe, and then have the final one ready to go on the day of, and just be, if you feel like you need some practice on it or you just want to be able to brainstorm, that's great too. Then tomorrow, or possibly tomorrow probably, but it might be on Monday, just because we do have a holiday. It's Good Friday on Friday, so remember that, everyone. We will send out the reference information and advocate toolkit so you can start planning. But that should be going out tomorrow, and you will get that from me. And I believe those are the two most pressing things that we need to get done before the challenge starts.
And the recording will be included as well.
Yes, it will be.
All advocates, because we had a few who weren't able to join us tonight. And
yes,
that's it. Any additional questions for the greater good?
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting looped into, or not looped in. I was late to signing up to be I guess I signed up as a team member rather than a team leader. And I know that Taylor, who's on this call, is a team leader. And I was just wondering, how can we assign ourselves as a member to someone's team if they're a team leader?
So for that, just confirm with the team leader that you're joining their team and they're cool with that. And then Liz will, when we do this outreach, just with everything, with the link to the page, with the advocate toolkit, with all the follow-up information, one of the next steps that will happen on your end or the team leader's end is to respond back and let us know who's on the team, just to make sure that we actually have everybody, and then we can just tie you all together. I mean, not physically, but digitally.
Yes.
And then I think it's that simple. I'm gonna quit meandering.
Any other questions, anyone? Okay, well, if there isn't, I'm going to put my email